Okay, now let's go into our next story where illegals are breaking down as Trump shuts the border effective immediately. This was another one of his campaign promises, and it's been great news that Trump is actually delivering on his campaign promises. He's restoring the border. I remember seeing videos Elon Musk tweeted out on X, or he X'd, whatever you want to call it, where there's literally bulldozers used to destroy the fence, and they were just letting unchecked millions and millions of people across the border. The previous Biden administration, which has led to the huge crime increase and a cost of living crisis, people not being able to get homes, hotels being filled, and now that's been shut down effective immediately. So let's go on to the story here.
Donald Trump has followed through on his promise to stop the flow of illegal aliens into the US, effective immediately.
And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil, including our cities and inner cities.
Illegal migrants waiting to enter the...
Oh, see, they're not happy now. They're like, no, sorry, you should have come a few days earlier. Missed out. Unlucky.
US broke down at the border upon hearing the news.
Now, this is what the Democrats are going to do. They're going to take pictures of these illegal migrants crying at the border. They're going to take pictures of children to weaponize your empathy. This is what the far left does. They do something called empathy weaponization, because most people are good people. Most people are kind-hearted people. Most people want to help other people from other countries that are less fortunate to them. And they use reports like this to weaponize their empathy to push their political agendas. And what their political agenda is cheap labor and import more votes. That's why they don't want voter ID as well.
Joe Biden's Border Control CPB One app, which allowed people to cross the border and book appointments in the US, was shut down, stopping the flow of illegal aliens. Online comment...
It was crazy that he created that app to make it even easier. And look, here we got the footage now that the police are enforcing the border again.
Commentators reacted to the ease with which the new Trump administration stopped the flow of illegals immediately. This commentator said, wait, Biden could have just closed the border? Surely it isn't this easy.
Wow, that's right, yeah. If Biden was talking about how he's going to stop the border, they literally just opened the border wide open and were letting people. All they had to do was enforce the border, give the power to the border officials to enforce a law. It was simple as that, but it's because they didn't want to. They wanted to import more voters into these swing states so they could have unchecked power.
And this commentator said, El Paso border crossing within minutes of the new administration. It really was that simple. The border closure comes just hours after an illegal alien allegedly fatally shot a Border Patrol agent in Vermont.
I wonder why. They have the suspects.
Wow, yeah, so that's another story where a border agent in Vermont was shot, and this is why they need to really crack down the border. And Trump made an executive order to class the cartels as a terrorist organization, which is something that should have been done a long time ago.
In custody.
Maybe there's more that they're looking for.
This commentator blasted the suspect, saying, to the illegal migrant in Vermont who just murdered a US Border Patrol officer, congratulations, you just made it personal for every Border Patrol and ICE officer in...
That's exactly right. He thought he did something good. Well, now the full force of the Border Patrol is going to come and crack down.
America. Trump's supporters are welcoming this zero-tolerance approach to illegal immigration.
My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Common sense.
And we're going to take Doge to Mars.
And as well as immediately halting illegal border crossings, Trump also signed an executive order to end birthright.
Look at this. The people have just been, this is every single day that's been happening. People have just been flooding into the country unchecked.
Citizenship for illegal immigrants.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
Yeah, that's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one in the course? That one is likely to be challenged.
Could be. We think we have good grounds, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous, but, you know, we'll see. We think we have very good grounds. People have wanted to do this for decades.
And while the majority...
So that's what a lot of immigrants were doing, was they were coming to the country and then having a child there and saying, oh, because they were born in the US, they should have American citizenship.
of America are celebrating their hardline approach to illegal migration, MSNBC continues to downplay the problem.
A state of emergency is officially now in effect on the border. Does it feel like an emergency where you are standing?
Feels no different than 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago or an hour ago when we got here early this morning, Rachel. The one practical change that we do know that has gone into effect here is that CBP One app that was put into place by the Biden administration, part of their effort, stated effort to have a more fair, safe, humane, orderly process at the border, has been discontinued by the Trump administration and President Trump. I have to say, I've reported from this spot over the course of 4 different presidential administrations for NBC News and MSNBC. In the Obama administration,
This commentator blasted their response, saying MSNBC is wild. Does it feel like a...
Well, it's also going to take time for them to implement everything, but obviously MSNBC is not going to be happy about this because they're a very far left news corporation.
State of emergency at the border? It feels no different than an hour ago. It's been a national emergency the whole of Biden's watch, and MSNBC is complicit in the crimes against women and children that have occurred for not having reported on it. They should have levied pressure on the Biden administration to protect our country. Instead, they choose to criticize President Trump for taking action against...
That's exactly right, everyone. They criticize Trump, but there's horrible things happening at the border, and they're not doing anything about it at all. So what do you guys think about this?